How painting helped me heal after a 5,000-foot fall. I'm going to read into this story from the BBC, you guys. Let's have a look. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the BBC with the headline of How Painting Helped Me Heal After a 5,000-foot Fall. A paragliding instructor who fell 1,500 meters has opened an expedition of his paintings that he described as a love letter to being alive. Sometimes in life, things happen that we don't understand, or things can happen beyond our control. Some people believe that things happen for a reason. Some people believe that destiny is in our own hands. Some people think it's fate. There's all sorts of reasons why certain things happen in life, and we just honestly don't know the truth. What we do know is what we can do when something terrible or dramatic happens in our lives, and how we respond to it. And some people can cope with it well, and some cannot. I would be someone who would struggle if something like this happened. If I had fallen such a fall, I would struggle to find myself. But it is not impossible to find yourself, to re-find yourself, or perhaps even find a new reality of yourself. And that is what has happened here to Jonny Fox here. It's made him realize just how much he appreciates life, and he's turned something, and he's decided to use what happened to him as a boost to basically to paint and paint out the world that he sees it in. I mean, I'm like this. Just seeing that painting, that picture, but behind him there in that picture, looks absolutely stunning. And I think stories like this are quite fascinating to see. And I hope you guys find this fascinating too. So Jonny Fox from Brighton has been competing in the British Paragliding Championships in September 2023 when he had his accident. The display at the Crypt Gallery in Seaford is entitled The Backstory and showcases the 50-year-old's determination to stand for long enough to create landscape oil paintings, which he says aided his recovery. After my accident, the world shrank immeasurably, he said. My thoughts were not more than 5 minutes into the future, and painting had just opened up everything again to me. Jonny was paragliding in northern Spain when he ran into trouble, falling to the foothills of the Pyrenees mountains. He laid on the forest floor, unable to move. I don't know if it was the amount of adrenaline that had been pumped into my body, but I knew that life, nature, and the mountains and the forest had me, and that my friends and other pilots were going to be looking for me, he added. And that was him after being rescued there from that picture, from the looks of it. The RAF civil servants recalled having a really good start in the race, gaining height alongside two vultures. I was enjoying flying with the birds, and then all of a sudden I experienced the most violent air I've ever been in, he said. The paraglider just folded up like a bag of washing, sending him into an accidental spiral dive. He deployed his reservist parachute before experiencing another area of turbulent wind. That was the first moment I was a bit scared, he said. Crashing through the trees, which only broke his fall for a microsecond, he fell the final 49 feet to the ground, fracturing his lower spine. A fragment of bone was also pushed into his spinal canal. Within a few hours, he was airlifted out of the forest by Spain's Guardia Civil Mountain Rescue Team, which was documented on Spanish television. During his time in hospital in Spain, he said music helped him deal with the trauma of the accident, as well as operations to attach rods and screws into his spine. I listened to the same two albums every morning in the hospital, he said, including Elbow Live at Jorrell Bank. Now, I love my music, but I don't think I could listen to the same music every single morning, but some people are different. Every time Elbow played one day, like the tears would just start and I would cry throughout the entire song. It was better than any of the painkiller jobs that they were giving me, he added. On his return to the UK, and with a long wait for NHS psychotherapy, friends, colleagues, and his close-knit paragliding community got in touch to give advice, he explained. Good psychotherapists, as well as cryogenical therapy and everything from yoga, actual punching, and hydrotherapy were all transformative, he added. Charity for Civil Servants also helped fund a series of counselling sessions, which helped with post-traumatic episodes. He said, "Yeah, because obviously the experience still haunts him, but it's just to find ways to not think about it and try to move on with your life from it as well. It can be difficult for people for such an experience." The IF has been incredibly supportive in giving me the time off for my rehab as well as supporting my return to work, he added. But it was his love of landscape in paintings that had given him an extra sense of purpose. He had been introduced to the practice by professional Brighton artist Tony Parson, who said Jonny was an amazing support and mentor. 18 months after his accident, he said he can now stand for up to an hour in order to capture landscapes. "I love the excuse of being able to stare at a view without someone thinking you're just crazy," he added. I mean, look at that. That's so great. There's such a great painting there. It really is. "Despite his injuries, there have been so many silver linings to his accident," said Jonny. "Although I don't want to put my friends and family through it again, of course. I heard the saying that we've all got 2 lives, and our second life starts when we realise we accidentally only got 1, he said. "It has been a gift in so many ways and made me realise how precious life is." And there's Jonny Fox's solo expedition there, what's open at Crypt Gallery in Seaford. This was last year, I believe, Sunday, April the 20th, this story. But still, it's pretty darn cool. That what he went through, and a terrible experience, a dramatic experience, life-changing experience. Everything he's gone through, and you can just see him smiling there, finding new purpose. And he's very fortunate that he has friends and family there to help him. There's a lot of people out there in the world who don't have that, but for Jonny, he had that, and it helped him find something new. And now he has another passion that he's formed, and and I couldn't be more happier for him. These stories, we need to remind ourselves that even when some of the most terrible and dramatic things happen to you, it could also be a meaning to change for even better than what you've already had. It's always about how you respond to these situations, what you are going to do about it, and how you are going to approach it. Never mind what anybody else does. So what do you guys think? What do you guys make of Jonny Fox's story? What do you make of his paintings? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, heartwarming in any way, shape or form, hit that like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't to already, and do check out other content across the channel as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.